Hey friends, this is Lanagan MacGregor. Thank you for the expanded version of the Power of Positive that was presented at the Massachusetts Association of Realtors Leadership Symposium. Joel Osteen said, make your test your testimony. And I want to share with you a test that I had in my life and how I feel it impacted my life and how it might be able to help you a little bit. And is this how you remember me, my leadership friends? This is me 4 years ago in my maternity clothes, covering up my back brace from when I broke my back. And the first big lesson I want to share with you is that people want to do good and be good. And the first thing that happened when I broke my back was there was just an overflow of people wanting to support. And the first flowers I got were from the Massachusetts Association of Realtors. And my friends drove me from my home to work when I could work, and they drove me to MAR, which is almost 2 hours away, for meetings, and they would do anything to help me. And it was just the most amazing feeling to know that people wanted to do good and be good. We had this incredible meal train, and my kids would sit at the door waiting at 5 for the next meal. And people, when it ended, people didn't want it to end. They wanted to keep going. They wanted to serve. And I was like, there's not a lot of opportunities in our lives that we can feel like we can do good and be good. And if someone's sick with a flu, we don't know, should we bring them soup or whatever? So we're just awkward about being good. And I want to tell you that as an MAR leader, you have permission to do good and to be good for your team or the board that you're representing. And if you give the world your best, the best will come back to you, to them, to everyone. And I want you to ask yourself, who did you serve today? We're leaders, we're servant leaders, we chose this. So as such, how can we make the best impact possible? So my second big lesson was that we are not in charge. Okay, so this is a photo of my Jeep at the junkyard and the Twitter feed of my daughter when she had sent it out. And a senior citizen gentleman had run through a stop sign, hit my car, and I rolled over several times. It rolled, and I flew out the roof and landed on the ground. And the thing is that there was nothing I could do about it. I could not have swerved, I could not have moved, I could not have done anything to get out of his way. And it made me know that all we really have in this world is this moment. Okay, so we don't have today. Some people say all you have is today. I didn't have today that day. Okay, I had that second when I was sitting there trying to suck wind on the ground. And for the control freaks out there that think that they want to make things great or perfect or whatever before they do something, you're not guaranteed anything. So please take that time and use that time the best that you can. So as leaders, what does this mean? It means that our contributions that we give people are infectious. If we're the best leaders, if we're out in front of them, if we're making the most of how we can impact them, we are setting the stage. And if we wait for, as this says, our extraordinary opportunities, they may not come. So make your ordinary opportunities extraordinary. And just think, are you making it count, or are you making a difference? Jim Rohn always said he wanted to leave a legacy of contribution, and that's how I feel. So conditions are never perfect. For you perfectionists, it's just not going to happen. There's no such thing as perfect. And for those who are too busy, I really want you to evaluate that busyness and decide, is it productive? Is it just a way of kind of, staying busy and saying you're busy? And just really become mindful of how you can take your time and make your time the best that you can make it. Okay? Big lesson number 3 as far as time goes is, be intentional with all of your time. When you're working, work your urgent, important activities. Don't get sucked into Facebook. Don't get sucked into, those activities that take time, that are your time killers. And when you're with your family, live with your family. Be with them. Take part in them. Don't have your phone open and, responding to things all the time and just kind of being there but not being there. And the other thing is, celebrate your wins. Every day we have so many wins that we should be celebrating. If we get overwhelmed with what we have to do and the enormous impact that could have, just do those base hits and celebrate every little thing that you got to celebrate. Okay? And be intentional in all that you do. A couple years ago, I started a hashtag Be Awesome workout in the morning on live stream, and it was at 6 a.m. and it still is. We've morphed it into being Be Awesome mornings, and we still do the movement, mindfulness, and motivation, and our goal is longevity. We also added in some tasks in the morning that can set us out for the day. A small base hit, making your bed, time chunking your day, making sure that you have all of those things that need to be done right away, but you also have filled in those 15-minute times. And we kind of joke, I've become a baggy lady. I always have a Ziploc bag filled with, a couple thank you notes that I can send when I've got 15 minutes, before an appointment or waiting for one of my kids. A 3-minute journal in the morning. Start with one sentence. If you can get one sentence out there, then guess what? That one sentence turns into 2 sentences. For fitness, they say start with one push-up. That one push-up, when you're down there, you may do a few more. So just commit to getting going, and be really mindful and intentional about your activities. I've never seen so many, organizational type things for how to start your year out right. And I'm just saying, just start. Small things. Make it count. All you have is the second. Remember that. And then move closer to your avatar. Start thinking about who is it that's your avatar. Your avatar is the person who's like your ideal client or the person you're doing something for. Okay, and the more that you can create that person, the stronger your movements are going to be toward them. And for us leadership people, those are realtors. Those are the people who we're serving. And how are we working with them? How do we actively try to get them engaged? One of the things about being in leadership is that we all love to see each other at these events and our old friends, and it's sometimes the only time that we get to see one another. But what about that new person that's there? What about that person doesn't know everybody there? Then what about them? We're supposed to be serving them, okay? And so then just make sure your messaging that you're putting out there is conducive to what you want your message to be. Okay, make it authentic, but make it real, but make it intentional. Okay, now if I'm asking you to do all these things, I'm going to give you a solution, and that's your don't do list. All right, and one of the things about great leaders is they are great delegators, and they say good leaders make good leaders, right? So we create new leaders, we give out responsibilities, we let people take care of things. Okay, so make a don't do list and decide right now what you're not going to do anymore that's killing your time. Okay, and make sure that you stay with it. You give it and you let them do it. I laugh at the people who give it away then pull it back. So give it away, let them do it, enjoy the fruits of their labors, and realize that that's how you get to have the best, most maximum amount of time. Remember, time is your gold, okay? And when someone's asking you to do something, your answer should be no or hell yeah, okay? So not like a maybe that might be a good thing to do. Your time is too precious, okay? And if I'm asking you to be amazing with your time everywhere you are, I don't want you to be thinking that you have to do everything for everybody, because you don't. Okay, and you're going to lead with positive actions. Your ability to lead others is directly related to your ability to lead yourself. Okay, so start in the morning, make your mornings awesome, be intentional with your time, be a great friend, be a great leader, be a great parent, and realize that, all of this is going to amazingly impact you and make that positive actions that I'm talking about happen. And fear setting, we have these fears, whether it's fear of video or fear of, in this case, flying, or fear of looking stupid, or fear of not being involved in something. We have to know that fear is always going to be there. Fear is our friend. Fear is our indicator inside of ourselves of when we're in the growth zone and when we're doing things that are going to make things even more amazing. Okay, so what I want you to do is let that honor your fear, walk through your fear, figure out what the worst thing is going to happen, and realize that you're going to be okay if that worst thing is going to happens. Okay, so don't let fear stop you. And the power of one. Gary Keller wrote a book called The One Thing, and what it talks about is doing one thing at a time and being laser focused, being that ninja on that one thing that you're doing. And whereas we have so many hats that we wear, sometimes we feel like we're doing all the things all the time, and that's not the most effective way to do this. This right here is my best friend's son, who's playing basketball in Virginia. and his focus on what he wants to do and how he wants to do it since he's been a child has been for this. And it's amazing the success that comes when you focus on that one thing. And remember, busyness is not an indication of your quality of your profession, okay? When people say that they're so busy they don't even know what day it is, I'm like, ooh, that's not the right answer, okay? So focus means follow one course until successful. For much of my life, I've been a follow one course until almost successful, and then the next shiny penny comes. So I've tried to reel it in, and I've tried to say to those who ask me, like, follow one course, be successful, take what you've learned there and plunk it into a new environment. And that's how you're going to magnify your benefits and your successes. Okay, so why are you here today? So you're here today because you're a leader, okay? And many of you have been to so many of these things. And the current that I heard in January was, oh gosh, we've got another one of these to go to. And I thought to myself that, first of all, it's a bummer you feel that way. But the thought I had was, in our lives, sometimes we're givers, sometimes we're takers, sometimes we're matchers, okay? Which means that I'm going to match my activity to your activity. All right, so maybe rather than thinking about what it's in it for you, what about that person that's there that could benefit from knowing you? Okay, reaching out to that person who you've never seen before, or impacting the conversation with the knowledge that you have and making it the best that you can. And realizing that maybe it's about contribution today and what you bring to the table and not about what you can take back. So, it's, as I say, if you help one person today, then you have that contribution, you have that one thing you've done today. And the power of positive action is, if we think big together and we don't listen to people who tell us we can't do things, then amazing things can happen. Look at this kitty cat's reflection of that lion behind her. Okay, that's what we are. That's who we are. Don't let someone tell you you can't do something. So anyways, let's do it together. This is my calendar. This is events that happen. Most of them are online. You are welcome to all of them. It's free. All of these logos are links to my website where you can sign up for any of these things. You can enroll. You can go to a Facebook group called Connect the Dots with Kate Lanagan MacGregor, which is all about this schedule that I've committed to this year for my realtor friends. And it's all about connecting the dots and making it all work. So please let me know if there's anything we can do together. I would love to have you as part of our Connect the Dots workshops, and together we can be amazing. And the power of positive is in making sure that you don't let any moment go by that's not the best moment that it can be. So anyways, this is Kate Lanagan MacGregor. Be bold, be awesome, be you.